This is Hospitality 360 Conversations, where we explore every touch point of hospitality excellence. Thank you for taking time to join our live session. So, as announced yesterday, I promised we are going live today, and indeed, we went live at 7 p.m. The video was recorded. I had to come back and look at the video again, but at some point, I realized that there was a problem with the audio. I could not hear my voice, so there is a need for me to come back and redo the video and share so that my viewers can learn from what I wanted to share from them or share with them. If you are joining us for the first time, feel free to tell me in the comment section where you are joining me from, and let me know which part of hospitality you are involved in. Is it front office? Is it customer service? Where do you work? Tell me more, not specifically where you work, but which part of hospitality are you involved in? There are so many parts of hospitality. So feel free to share it with me in the comment section, and I will definitely give you a nice welcome. So welcome to tonight's conversation. Tonight is not a lecture. We are here to have insightful conversation. And if today is the first time you are watching our video, I'd say Hospitality 360 Conversation is a place where we explore every touch point of hospitality excellence. We talk about everything about hospitality, from the guest pre-arrival, the moment the guests decide to book your place, through arrival, the customer service given to the guests, through to the point when the guest checks out from your facility. So we talk about everything regarding the entire guest cycle while they are lodging with you. We also talk about staff development, staff training, staff coaching, and ways you can enhance your brand as a hospitality facility. Tonight, our topic is straight to the point. How do your customers remember your hospitality facility? And most importantly, when they engage with your facility, do they come back to you? Now, if you are a business owner, or you manage teams, or you simply work in hospitality, you need to understand that you have taken, the facility owner or the business owner have taken time to put in resources, commit resources to the brand. Without patronage, you have no brand. Without customer support, you have no brand. Without customer remembering your facility, you are not in business. So how do you ensure that after you have put in your best, put in committed resources to your architectural layout, ensure your spaces are clean, recruited the best of teams, and the place is up and running, how do guests remember your facility? I'm going to share with you 5 ways you can master or learn to use to make guests remember your facility. Remember, when a guest is going to engage with you, you need to master the first impression and the last impression. So point number 1, the welcome. How do you welcome guests in your facility? You can share with me in the comment section. Are they greeted when they walk into your facility? Do other staff who see them walk into the reception also greet them? Do they greet them with a stern face, or they greet them with a smiling face? Do they speak to their guests professionally, or they speak to their guests as if to say, you are a bother to me? So the welcoming matters from the gate to the reception. So I'm going to use a hotel scenario in my conversation with you tonight. So when the guest walks to the reception, how are they welcome? Do you greet them? Do you pay attention to the guest. You need to understand that when a guest walks into the facility, the guest is forming impression. The guest is collecting information regarding your facility. They are looking at how the guest behaves. Is it Frimpong? Frimpong Emmanuel, thank you for joining the conversation tonight. Let me know which part of hospitality you are involved in, or if you are just somebody who loves hospitality. But thank you, I appreciate you joining. Do your receptionists welcome the guests with a smile? Do they foremost understand that there is a guest in front of them? They need to pay attention to them, how they welcome them. Do they welcome the guest sitting down, or they get up to acknowledge the presence of the guest? Do they look at the guest eyeball to eyeball while talking to the guest, or they are distracted while welcoming the guest to the facility? How your receptionists welcome guests, or how personnel in your facility welcome guests, clearly tells the guests that they are prepared for the business. Poor welcome simply communicates to the guests that your staff are not properly trained. 2, your staff are not up to it. They don't understand what they are doing. 3, they are just not ready to attend to guests. And you could lose a business from a poor welcome. So if your staff are not properly trained, then I believe it is time to engage a trainer. It's time to train your staff to ensure that they master the act of welcoming guests. Welcoming guests matters so much. In some places, they have complimentary gifts to give to guests when they arrive. They give guests complimentary water. It's part of the service. It's a standard practice in hospitality. Some also offer a glass of juice. Some also offer snacks, ready-made snacks, or fruits, hand-picked fruits, well-wrapped or presented in mini baskets for guests. I don't know the culture in your facility, but dear hotel manager, if you do not have a welcome pack for your guests, it is time to put in a welcome pack for your guests. Ensure that guests are welcome the moment they walk to the reception, so that they form the right impression of your facility before they are even checked into their rooms. That tells them that if the welcoming is this good, then what else should I expect when I enter into my room, or when I walk into the restaurant, or when I walk into any of your service centers? 2, the listening. How well are your staff trained to listen to guests? Do they listen to guests by interrupting whatever the guest is saying? Do they pay attention to what the guest is saying? Because you can only address a guest's need when you pay attention to them. If you get distracted while a guest is talking, there is no way you can attend to their need, because you are going to miss the important things they are communicating to you while they are talking. Sometimes by paying attention to what the guest is saying, you are able to identify other things the guest want to say that maybe the guest is struggling to fully articulate them in their narration to you. So take your time, pay attention. You can just listen to everything the guest is saying. When the guest is done, you can simply go over what the guests have said. So for example, Mr. Frimpong, you indicated you want your breakfast served at 6:30 a.m. in your room. You said for the breakfast you should not add milk, you do not take milk. You've also said that you are a salt-free, you don't like salt in your meals. Then you go over it with the guests. Once you do that, what it means is that, Daddy, thank you for joining the conversation. I am grateful to have you here. You can feel free to tell me which part of hospitality you are involved in, and we can all help to strengthen the industry. So you listen attentively, and then you go over what the guests have said to ensure that you have not missed any point, because it is only by doing that you are able to offer the right response to what the guests have said. Now, the next thing is the personal touch. If you want guests to remember your facility, you need to add a personal touch. I don't know how well trained your receptionists are, or how well trained your frontliners are, but if they are not trained to add personal touch to the way they offer service to guests, then there is a big service gap. Simple personal touch. A guest checked in or a guest walked to the reception about to check in, and they gave you a clear information that they are lodging for the purposes of, let's say, a conference meeting or for an online seminar. And so they do not want to be disturbed, and they are going to be logged in from, let's say, 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. What it means is that every facility have their breakfast timing. In most hotels, their breakfast would end at 10, others extend it to 10:30. If such a guest gives you information, you have to find a way to personalize the service to ensure that this guest who is going to be logged up online, an online session, and do not want to be disrupted, is also taken care of. So what do you do? Okay, Mr. Frimpong, since you will be logged up in a meeting from 6:30 a.m., I would like to find out from you, would you prefer we serve your breakfast at 6 a.m. or kindly advise whether you would prefer to have your breakfast after the meeting? The guest will definitely work out something and tell you something. Whatever the guest tells you, for example, if the guest says that he or she intends to have the breakfast before the session begins, then you ensure that you confirm the time and serve and communicate that to the relevant department, and the service gets to the guest on the time they have indicated. Now, it is also possible that the guest might not be able to finish eating everything and then enters into the session, and definitely they can only go back to eating after. There is nothing wrong. We're following up on the guest if it's done with the breakfast. And when you call and the guest says, that is after the meeting, and the guest says, I couldn't eat and my food is cold. Okay, don't worry, say, I'll send the waiter to your room to get your food warmed and return to you. You are adding a personal touch to it. A guest is checking in, you realize that the guests have mobility issues. You need to find a way to ensure and know even the floor to assign to the guest. Ensure that you talk to your housekeeper so that they pay attention to the guest. You need to add a personal touch. That makes the service truly special. That makes the service truly memorable. And there is no way the guest is going to forget that encounter. From experience, I've had guests who have checked in feeling well, and maybe due to one or two reasons, maybe they are not feeling too well. There are times I've personally put guests in my car and use company car to send them to the hospital. Why? Because they matter to the facility. And when you get there, sometimes you need to wait until the doctor have attended to them. Sometimes if even they are being slow, you need to find a way to talk to somebody there to quickly attend to the guest. It's a personal touch. The guest did not check in to be taken to the hospital, but maybe he has serious health problems and something has happened, and you can see your guest is unwell. What do? And the guest didn't come with a vehicle. What do? Do you leave your guest to go into a serious state before you act? No, you act ASAP. So, dear viewers, or dear hotel owner, dear business owners, understand that personal touch matters. Who do I have here? I have, is it Hiba or Hiha? I can't see the name of, but I have Salom. Salom, welcome. Thank you for joining the conversation. Hiha 3043, thank you for joining the conversation. If I did not get, Salom, thank you for joining. Vicky, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So ensure to add a personal touch. Then 4, service recovery. What service recovery measures do you have in your facility? How have you trained your personnel? Vicky, thank you for joining. How have you trained your personnel to offer service recovery when service goes wrong? Salom, I will reach out to you. I will reach out to you tomorrow. I've seen you've shared your contact. I will reach out to you, please. Please ensure that your personnel are properly trained and they know how to recover when a service goes bad. Remember, mistakes can happen in the line of service. And sometimes there is nothing wrong with it. What is so wrong is when you fail to recover that error. Because it could be a genuine mistake. And if you have not watched any of the videos on Hospitality 360 channel on TikTok, take your time. We have a whole video for service recovery. How you recover the service matters. That proves to the guest that you are a professional. And that can help you. Yes, Saloma said I'll reach out to you. I've got your message. I will reach out to you. And that can transform an irate guest into an ambassador for your brand. Because what you want to avoid is for the guest to leave your facility with problems unresolved. Straight away, it communicates to them that you are not in business. Straight away, it communicates to them that you are not a serious facility. Straight away, it communicates to them that you really don't care for your guests. And when a guest leaves with that impression, you are finished. Because that message is going to spread like wildfire. Once they open their mouth to one person, the other person is going to tell 10 people. And then the message will keep spreading. So correct these mistakes when they happen within. Apologize to the guest. Find an immediate remedy to the situation. If it's a maintenance situation in the guest room and as a front desk, a housekeeper has told you or informed you from their checks that there's a problem in their room, and you check with the maintenance person and the maintenance person says that this problem is not a minor issue, it's going to take more time to resolve it. There is nothing wrong with transferring the guest from the current room to another room. You apologize, you explain the situation to the guest, that the situation will require more time to fix. So while maintenance team is going around to resolve it, you would want to transfer the guest to another. The guest would understand. And when you are transferring, if you have a room, for example, if the guest is in a standard room and you have an executive suite, you have a superior room or any room better than the room the guest is in, upgrade the guest. Upgrade without charging any other thing, because you want to keep the guest and you want the guest to be an ambassador. Always remember that how you recover service errors matters. And if you do it well, you have the guest as a lifetime customer. 5, the goodbye. And some facilities, hospitality facilities, they have parting gifts they give to guests. The goodbye effect is the last minute impression you are creating in the mind of your customer. Remember, I had said that when the guest walks into your facility, you create what we call the first impression. The last impression matters as much as the first impression, because that is when they are walking out of your facility. You don't want them to leave or check out unsatisfied. You don't want them to walk out without having any positive thing to say about your brand. You don't want your guests to leave without having a memorable service experience to trigger another effect. So it is very important that you part with your guest. When your guest is leaving, you create a good goodbye effect. So for example, if you've had a guest lodging at your facility for like more than 5 nights, sorry, I'm using the professional term because in the hotels we use nights. If you are not in hospitality, you are likely to say days, but in hospitality we say night. So 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights. So a guest could spend like 7 nights. A guest could spend like 10 nights. A guest could spend like a 1 month stay. Such a guest who have paid so much money to your place cannot just leave without anything. Have a parting gift. It's not going to break your account, dear manager. You can have branded souvenirs. It could be a mug. It could be a pen. It could be a diary. And or it could be a face towel. It could be anything the guests can always pick and remember your facility. It's important. So if you don't have any parting gift in your facility, after this video, after this session, take time to meet your front desk personnel or sit with management. Come up with a creative idea on ways you can create a good bar effect, because you want your guests to keep coming to your facility. Remember, you want them to come back, not just once, not just twice, but forever and ever. And you want them to also introduce you to other businesses. And can assure you, if you treat your guests well, if you follow these 5 points I have shared, these guests are going to they will reward you. And the way they are going to reward you is to recommend your facility to other businesses. Sometimes the person who came to sleep in your facility is a CEO, and all that he wants to establish is that, or she wants to establish is that, your facility is ready to welcome more guests. And so they come to test the service. They go back to their offices. They discuss whether it's worth signing a contract with your business so that their corporate client or top executive can be lodging at your place, or anytime they have a visitor, an expert, the person can lodge at your in your facility. So respect every guest who come to your facility. Master these 5 points I have shared, and create memorable impression in the minds of your guests that will bring them to you, and you have a good customer base. And once you keep growing your customer base, I can assure you profitability is assured. This is Hospitality 360 conversation. I hope this conversation has been insightful. If you work in hospitality, you manage team, you're a supervisor, you work in event, restaurant, catering facility, remember, Hospitality 360 conversation is the place for you, because we talk about everything hospitality. And if you found this video useful, don't forget to share with someone. It could impact the life, the profession of the person positively. Until our next session, until our next live session, keep serving guests with good professional skills. Keep creating memorable experiences in their minds, and ensure to do things, intentional steps, follow intentional steps to create the right impression in their mind, so that your guests should always remember your facility. I am Lady Mrs. Theodora White, and this is Hospitality 360 Conversation. Stick around for our next session, and stick around for our next conversation. Thank you, viewers, all of you who took time to join. Thank you very much. God bless all of you.